What's going on, folks? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. Today we're having a look at Popular Mechanics 1988. And we got a bit of a nightmare going on here. We got a plane coming down and everyone sitting down. Also, totally cool. Look how calm and collective everybody is. You don't even have any masks popping down. Mary Poppins just sitting there being like, oh, look, I can see my house from here. I keep forgetting that the Cold War was still running in the 80s. Ford Ranger. It's been around for a long time. Might not be the biggest truck in the world, but it gets you there. Oh, I love these 80s advertisements. No guts, no glory, but you got the visor, you got the whammons, and that's all one needs. Seriously, though, that was a pretty impressive advertisement back in the day. I'd like to challenge your tests which use WordStar. I don't know what the Ferg WordStar is. All that I know is that the only company still making computers here is IBM, and they're only making servers. Zenith!
Zenith, I love signage, especially the retro stuff.
I gotta say, there's nothing sadder than seeing a deck that has some good old fashioned dry rot on it. What we do is have a look back, and we have a combat car here. That is interesting. That's interesting. Oh, shoot, it looks like you'd be able to take those on the rails. Huh. That looks a lot like the gun that Superman fought in, what was it, the 50s, the 40s? That animation was really nice. And the river racers, I wouldn't want to have a race on top of one of those things. Why the heck would he be laying down like that, I wonder? Oh, he was doing it to keep the boat stable. My God, could you imagine doing that these days? OSHA, the safety people would have a field day. You would never get insured. You know what I mean? We need to get back to making cars for the kids because they got to get off these damn tablets. I tell you what. And that looks like a really fun thing that we could use to get outside and away from all of this. Okay, that is a nice Army Reserve advertisement. It's really interesting in the factory. There's some guys, some of the nicest guys you meet, you wouldn't even know, but they came from the military. That's the Canadian military, but still. Oh, right down here. Ah, man, I would love. I think that's an M60. I would love to fire a whole 100 rounds off of that without laying off the trigger. I know you're not supposed to do it, but I'm a civvy and a wog. What can I say? I like to dream. Geez, lots of complicated technology going into showing a baseball game. Seriously, though. Miniature medical cyclone. Man, I was in one of those things once upon a time. I hear a lot of funny and horrible stories about outtakes and whatnot, things that happen around there. Let's talk about some of the funny things. There was a bunch of cops that raided a place for some reason. And in this one particular time, the police, they didn't quite do what they were supposed to. They ended up walking right into a room that had one of these things going, and they lost an ammo pack. Oh, I shouldn't be telling the story unless I remember the full thing, but it was hilarious. I've heard lots of stories about people walking into rooms with one of those things while they still had like a wheelchair or some other medical thing, and the stuff just flying and psh. Oh, they don't mention. Oh, here we go. Superconducting magnet. Now, the thing is that if you shut these things off and release the hydrogen, that's what the cops did. They released the hydrogen. It's not cheap to get those things going again. Cold storage in space? Isn't everything just cold in space? Isn't space a lack of heat and, well, everything? A stealth bomber! Oh my goodness, any man. They see a stealth bomber, they freak out. They have to stop whatever they're doing. They could be making love to the most beautiful woman. A stealth bomber goes by and they just have to stop and be like, a stealth bomber. The flying car. We were all promised it. It never ended up happening. And it seems to be because if you drop anything from a flying car and if it hits the wrong thing, you're screwed, buddy. I can't get over this. I need to find one of these one day. A catalytic converter for your fireplace. A technology that went into keeping you warm. These days, of course, all we have to do is flick a switch and we have heat pretty much. But back in the day, you needed to worry about what kind of wood you had, what you were burning. And if you had the catalytic converter, you weren't going to be burning anything that had nails in it, that's for sure. Here we have an image of how it works. And yeah, catalytic combustor, they call it right there. I'll never get over that. That's so cool. Bombs with brains to find targets. I'm sure you all heard about the bombs that had pigeons in them, and they'd have three pigeons in them because sometimes one pigeon would just give up and he wouldn't care. He'd lose all interest. But the army never ended up going with that. I thought it was maybe they thought it was too much of a flimsy, wussy idea. I don't know. Here we have an interesting takeoff of, I believe it's Leonardo's Man. I love it. I don't know about you guys, but I have a really fun time scraping off wallpaper. It's just so much fun. Drano, strong on clogs, safe on pipes. I know someone who got in trouble with their landlord for using a little too much of this type of stuff, but I have a feeling it was PVC pipes that they were dealing with. I don't know how anyone can be casual about Jack Daniels. Anyone I know that drinks Jack is pretty hardcore and you don't want to mess with them. Maybe it's just me, but when I know someone getting Jack Daniels, it's not going to be a very good time. Not for us, anyways. Maybe for him. No, not for them. Oh, that's an interesting looking Chev. That looks like a European car. I am not a fan of European cars. Well, that looks like it has some potential. The Aztec Roadster. Jeez. Looks lovely, but it's good luck getting parts. Catch a Wave. That was the last thing I ever got from the Radio Shack. I think I got it in Mount Forest too. A lovely thing that ultimately I only ended up using it to listen to. Geez, what was I listening to? Probably Southern Gospel, honestly. Do you guys remember back in the day when you could learn how to repair things, not just throw them out and buy new things? I don't think Chairman Mao's Great Leap Forward was finished by now, so the Chinese weren't making everything for cheaper. Over in Hanover, Ontario, we had a lot of manufacturing that ended up going out of business because of the Great Leap Forward in China. Oh my goodness, that's one way to sell a truck, selling a radio controlled miniature of it. I don't think they look the same. I wonder if there's a collector's market for that one. Oh, hell yeah. I love that. I want to see one of those in action. I bet if you actually had one of these things, though, it would be out of date. No one would be using it these days. But still, a really cool battle station. The Skull Man. I tell you what, Bobby, that put hair on your chest and muscles on your muscles. Every time I see someone working in the oil business, I keep thinking about the poor dude that figured out that Vaseline would take care of a burn. And you get some rich guy that came around. He got the idea to that basically this oil byproduct could help you out. And then this guy started advertising it and selling it. I have a feeling that the person that showed him that Vaseline could be used for these things. It wasn't named that at the time, of course. That he was not actually given any money for it. But I digress. It's just the way the world works, right? Anti-lock brakes at last. I remember the first time I had a pair of anti-lock brakes or a set. When that stuff came on, I was wondering what the frig's going on with this car. Advertise no cuts all you want, I would still find a way to give myself a nick, I swear to gosh. A solar powered 2-in-1 television. If there's one thing I love about Popular Mechanics, it seems like no matter how old you get, you see solar powered everything. And here we have a walking robotic television. I wonder if that thing could actually walk very far. Oh, this is one of my favorite advertisements. They're definitely flirting. Like, why would she? Oh, just let me touch the rim of the tip of it, Johnny. Catastrophe. Jeez, that'd be something to write home about. I mean, could you imagine? Wow. I wonder if any of those guys would have gone deaf. Terrifying, though. Oh no, I have an unreasonable fear of stuff like this happening, just infrastructure giving out. Oh man, I hope everyone was okay there. Oh, that's a beautiful shot of an Indian. Lovely. I don't know much about motorbikes, and I really don't like 1% bikers, but I love, love, love old mechanics. Military Harley Davidson. Looks like it has a tractor seat there. Gotta respect the classics. There's a very classic looking Honda. Very nice. I am not at all familiar with this brand. Trub? Well, that's interesting. A manufacturer that had uh, motors from both Harley and Indian. Nice. Oh, geez, yeah, that does look like a lot of fun. Wonder how fast that could go. That's definitely a good looking boat. The Cardinal of the Kremlin in a dramatic race to take the technological high ground, yada yada. I think these days everyone just knows the Americans could have got everything faster, but they wanted their pilots to live and come back. You don't want to die for your country. You want to live for it if you can. No shade at the Russians. The Russian cosmonauts, I mean. I mean, whatever's going on over in Ukraine is something else. I love these alarms that are a barking dog. I've heard of some bad boys that used to have dogs that they'd have protecting their yard, but sometimes, the dogs could get hurt, or if the dogs hurt someone, you got to get them their shots and all that stuff. And you got to make sure the dog is okay. And most of the time, even if the dogs are crazy, you still love them. It's hard not to love a dog. I'm sorry. One of these days, I want to find an answer. Some old folks told me that you used to get side cutters and stuff. They didn't come with the insulation on the side. I wonder what changed. I wonder when it changed. Because, geez, you can say whatever you want, but if you're going to be using that stuff all day, you don't have that insulation on the side, you're going to get hurt a little bit. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Radio Shack ad: design your own remote control system with Radio Shack plug-in power. Oh, it does sound pretty cool. Try getting replacement parts, though. The original smart home. I love Radio Shack. When, when your car is a cherry, Perlator filters. Isn't Perlator a mail delivery thing? Well, that's it from me, folks. I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bets. Hope you had a good time here with me. If you do, hit that like. I really appreciate it. And more importantly, folks, take care of each other, will you? Life is hard enough on all of us, and we might be all we got.